You don't get promoted through hard work, technical skills, or putting in more hours. You get promoted by a handful of specific behaviors that signal you're ready. But most people never learn what they are. I was a partner and a head of people at a Big Four firm. I've sat in the rooms where promotion decisions were made for hundreds of people. And what I noticed is that the people who made it to senior roles weren't always the hardest workers. But they all understood a formula that's never actually taught, but it's responsible for every major promotion. So in this video, I'm breaking down that exact 3-part formula and showing you how to apply it immediately so you can stop being invisible and start getting recognized for the leader you already are. So when I was a partner and a head of people at KPMG, I sat in the rooms where promotions were decided. These weren't casual conversations. Promotions changed lives, compensation, confidence, career trajectory. And what shocked most people about these decisions is this: the hardest workers were not automatically promoted. In fact, sometimes extreme effort signaled the opposite: poor prioritization, inability to delegate, someone operating in the work instead of above it. And over time, a clear pattern emerged. The people who got promoted weren't always the most technically brilliant, but they were visible for the right things. Promotions work exactly like launching a blockbuster film. You can create the best movie ever made, incredible story, perfect cinematography, Oscar-worthy performances. But if no one knows it exists, or if you release it at the wrong time, or if the marketing doesn't land, it doesn't really matter how good it is. And your career works the same way. And that realization changed how I coach people earlier in my career, because most people are focused entirely on making a great movie while ignoring those other things that actually gets it seen. So here's the 3-part formula that actually determines who gets promoted: achievement, visibility, and timing. And just like launching a blockbuster film, you need all 3. Hard work is not in the formula. Hard work just gets you more work. Yes, you've got to work hard. You need that substance. You need actual achievement, measurable outcomes that move the business forward. But you also need to market that substance. So this is how promotions actually work. And let me break down how to do each part. And if you want some help working this out for yourself, click the link in the description. I've got something that's really going to help you. The first part, achievement. So achievement is delivering the measurable outcomes that move the business forward. And there are 3 principles within achievement that separate people who get promoted from people who just stay busy. So the first principle is outcomes over effort. Focus on results, not hours worked. Judge the movie by the box office takings and critical acclaim, not by how many hours went into the production of the film. No one cares that a film took 10 years to make if it bombs. Same with your work. Leaders care about revenue growth, cost reduction, customer retention, efficiency gains, strategic wins. They don't care if you stayed until 9 p.m. every night. So stop tracking your hours and start tracking your outcomes. So instead of saying, I worked really hard this quarter, say, I increased conversion rates by 12%, which generated $500K in additional revenue. One is effort, the other is value. The second principle within achievement is to align to what matters. So focus on the priorities that leaders actually track. This is like releasing a movie in the genre audiences actually want to see. So you could make an incredible art house movie, but if audience want action blockbusters, it's not going to land. Your work is the same. You could deliver incredible work on something that doesn't matter to leadership, and it's not going to move your career forward. So here's what to do. Ask your manager or senior leader, what are the top 3 priorities for our team this year? And then align your work to those priorities. Don't guess, ask. Strategic work, which is work aligned to leadership priorities, will get you noticed and rewarded. The third principle within achievement is to document and demonstrate. So keep a wins file to capture metrics, emails, milestones, those sorts of things that you need for your performance reviews. This is your portfolio of evidence, your behind the scenes footage. And when award season comes, you need proof of your best work. Most people rely on their memory during performance reviews, and that's a big mistake. Just create a simple document, your wins file, and every time you complete something meaningful, add in what you did, what the outcome was, and any recognition that you received. And then when your performance review season comes around, you're going to have a complete portfolio of your value. You need to remind your boss with this evidence. So the second part after achievement is visibility. Visibility is how well decision makers know about the value that you're bringing. This is the marketing campaign for your career. And just like a movie studio promoting a blockbuster film, there are 3 principles that determine whether you're seen or you're forgotten. First principle within visibility is around your proximity to power. You want to put yourself where leaders can see you. This is like getting your movie into the right theaters or at the right film festivals or in front of the right critics. If you're working late at your desk after everyone's gone home, you're invisible. You might be creating Oscar-worthy work, but if the decision makers aren't there to see it, it doesn't really matter, it doesn't count. Proximity creates opportunity. Be present in meetings where decisions are made, volunteer for projects where senior leaders are involved, and take ownership of initiatives that matter to the business. The mistake people make here is thinking that proximity to senior leaders is all about playing office politics. It's not. It's about strategic positioning. The second principle within visibility is to own your narrative. So frame your achievement so others understand why it mattered to the business. This is like the movie trailer for your career. A great trailer doesn't show you every scene. It shows you the moments that make you want to see the rest of the film. So you need to control the story of the value that you've added. And if you don't, someone else is going to define that for you, and probably not in a way that is going to be beneficial for you. So most people say something like, I completed the project on time. That's not a narrative, that's completion of a task. The narrative is, I led the project that reduced client churn by 15%, and that translated into £2 million in retained revenue. The work that you did didn't change, but your narrative on it did. So don't wait for performance reviews to tell these stories. Tell them in the moment. When you finish a project, send a summary email highlighting the business impact. In meetings, connect your work to the company's top priorities. And when leaders ask what you're working on, give them a story about progress, not a task list. The mistake people make here is thinking that their work speaks for itself. It doesn't. You have to speak for it and for yourself. So the third principle within visibility is to be consistently associated with progress. So this is all about building your brand of reliability. Think about film franchises, Marvel, James Bond, Fast and Furious. People go to see the next one because they trust the brand, and your career needs the same thing. You need to be the person that leaders think of when they need something important done, not just once, but every time. So that means delivering on commitments, being proactive rather than reactive, consistently showing up in ways that move the business forward. One big win isn't enough. You need to be consistently seen as someone who is driving progress, not just completing tasks. Okay, so the third part after achievement and visibility is timing. Timing is about creating and seizing the right moments for your promotion. This is the release date strategy for your career, because even the best films will flop if they're released at the wrong time. If you release a drama during summer blockbuster season, it's going to get buried. If you release it during award season, it could win Oscars. Same film, different outcome, all about the timing. And your career works exactly the same way. You could be the perfect candidate, but if the timing's wrong, it's not going to happen. So here are the 3 principles to navigate timing. The first principle is to look for change moments. Promotions open up during restructures, new projects, growth periods for the company, or when somebody leaves. This is when budgets get reshuffled and new roles get created. If you're waiting for a promotion during stable times, you could be waiting years. But if you position yourself during moments of change, opportunities open up fast. Don't wait passively for promotions to come to you. Step into the conditions for them during that change. The second principle within timing is the power of next time. If you are recognized as promotable, but you've missed out because of timing or budget, lock in being first in line next time. This is like a film studio securing distribution rights before the film is finished. If you're promotable, but there's no budget this year, don't walk away disappointed. Ask, if I'm promotable now, can we agree I'm first in line when the budget opens up? Get that agreement locked in. Then when the timing shifts, and it will, you're already at the front of the line. Not yet isn't a no, it's just a timing issue. Third principle within timing is to ask, don't wait. Create opportunities by asking directly what you need to demonstrate for promotion consideration. Most people never ask this question. They just hope that somebody's going to notice that they're ready. That's really passive, and being passive won't get you promoted. So say something like, I'm interested in progressing to the next level. What specific outcomes or capabilities will I need to demonstrate to be considered for that role? This does 3 things. It signals your ambition, which leaders respect. It gives you a clear roadmap, so you're not guessing. And it puts you on the leadership's radar as someone thinking strategically. You need to create that conversation and then deliver on what's discussed. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. I don't want to self-promote, it feels inauthentic, and I get it, that's a real concern. But the truth is that there's a difference between bragging and owning your narrative. Bragging is saying, look, I'm amazing, look at me. But owning your narrative is saying, here's the impact of my hard work on the business. The former is about ego, the second one is about value. And if you don't tell that story, someone else is going to define your contribution, and they're probably going to get it wrong. Or maybe you're thinking, my manager should just notice my good work. Well, and maybe they should. Maybe they will, but chances are they won't. Your manager is managing 10, 20 people, they're running their own projects, they're dealing with their own pressures, and they're probably trying to manage their own promotion as well. They're not tracking every detail of what you do. That's why you need to make it easy for them, by demonstrating your wins and framing your value clearly. So it's not a question of, should I have to do this? The question is, what happens if I don't? And the answer is, you'll stay stuck while others move ahead. Now, if you want help implementing this promotion formula in your own career so you can finally move from feeling plateaued to being recognized as the leader you are, start doing these 3 things. But they won't work unless you can get clarity on what you actually want next. Because getting promoted into the wrong role just means you're then stuck, but at a higher level, which is actually harder to move from. So watch this video next, where I break down the exact framework I use with senior professionals and leaders to get crystal clear on their next career move so that they can pursue the right opportunity with confidence. I'll see you there. And if you found this video helpful, please leave me a like or a comment. It really helps me to know what content to make for you.